Hey everybody, I have here the new Sage R8 core fly rod. This is the newest iteration of their flagship series fly rods. It is coming in weights of 3 to 9 weight and in lengths of 8.5 to 10 feet, so you can really dial in the exact rod for your specific fishing needs. These feature the newest technology from Sage as well. This is the Revolution 8 technology, hence the R8. It is essentially a continuation of Sage's technology and manufacturing qualities, replacing essentially the Connect HD, which was in part of the Sage X and Salt HD, for those of you that are familiar. These are some of the lightest weight and most responsive fly rods that we have cast here at the shop. We're really excited to have them here. I'm going to go over a little bit of the specifics about what makes them different and new and as good as they are. So check it out and hope you enjoy. Labeled as being a fast action, like a lot of rods are these days, what I think makes these rods quite different is that they have a lot more feel than your traditional fast action rod. So generally speaking, when you're making a fast rod, the rod generally flexes at one point in the rod, meaning that you have either it's a tip flex or a mid flex, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm sure that you've probably seen even some rods be advertised or labeled as this is a mid flex rod or a tip flex rod. But really with this new R8 technology, what they've been able to do is create a rod that has a softer tip section, but a more gradual or graduated, if you will, mid and butt section, meaning that as you continue to cast either heavier lines, more line out, different types of flies, the rod is going to flex and behave differently. So what I found that I really enjoyed was that with the softer tip section, I was able to throw very accurately lighter weight lines, i.e. for either dry fly, lighter weight nymphs, lighter streamers, and I was very, very accurate, and my presentation was exactly what I was sort of hoping for and looking for in, say, a 5 or 4 weight in those conditions. As you progress further up with the rod, and I want to put on either a heavier line or throw some heavier flies, whether it's nymphing or tungsten or cone-headed streamers or whatever it may be, the rod was able to flex deeper down into the blank, allowing me to utilize a different part of the rod to achieve a different type of a cast. The responsiveness even further translates entirely through the rod blank. So a lot of times with faster rods, you've got a situation where you can kind of feel it in the tip or the midsection, but you have no idea what's going on towards your hand, which is really where most of the feedback that we want is happening. With the R8 here, we're getting that translation of energy down into the cork, so I have a way better idea of what my line is doing, what my rod is doing, and hopefully what my fly is going to end up doing as well. I have here both the 6 weight and the 9 weight models here. They're either going to come with a half wells or full wells cork handle or grip. The lighter weight models come with a wooden insert for the reel seat. The heavier weight models come with an anodized reel seat here. All components for both are anodized as well, so they're good for any conditions, whether it's fresh or salt. They all, as well, have the Fuji ceramic stripping guides. This is the 9 weight here, and for those of you that saw my recent shootout between the Sage Salt HD 9 weight and this R8 Core 9 weight, I was very pleasantly surprised with what this rod was actually capable of doing. As a continuation, if you will, of the Sage X, I wasn't really impressed with what the Sage X was able to do in saltwater conditions. But the way they have now changed the taper and the action of this rod really allows it to be a very, very good inshore lightweight saltwater rod. In other words, for those of you that are going for bonefish, redfish, sight fishing situations where you need a really accurate rod that's going to be able to still manage wind in the conditions that you're going to be fishing in, this R8 is going to be an absolute killer rod on the flats. For those of you looking for an ultra fast action rod, this is not it. But they have all the capabilities of a faster action rod in terms of being able to throw heavier nymph rigs, streamers. You're going to be covered in almost any situation. Again, some of the lightest weight and most responsive rods that I've cast here. A lot of fun to use, and I hope you guys enjoy them too.